Alia. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to my channel, Alia Alia. Today we're gonna talk about the formula. In Alia Ayat method, we also work with words. There are words that, because of the way people use them, they have like a positive, very positive vibration. So the formal or the formula of, they call it the formula of life, is full of very positive words. That's why the impact in your body, even when you use them as, so to say, weapons against negative programs that might come while you are interacting with someone else, for example, or you are having like a mind attack, let's put it that way, of negative thought, or I'm going to be giving some examples, how to use the words of the formula. Before, we used the formula complete. Now they changed that in the school, and you only have to say Alia, and that's already including the whole thing, the whole formula already. So, well, the whole formula says Alia, Nina, Ana, Sostatel, Farhad, Ata, Alia, Ayat, Trisatsiam, Sorok, Shest, Voisiam, Disiet, Alia, Lesat, Seleni, Alia, Uyghur, Ayat, Alia. Okay, that's like the whole form. Oh my god, it's so pretty. I love it so much. It's so pretty. It's has, I don't know, maybe you feel it also wherever you are, but um well, I'm gonna get rid of my glasses, because normally when we're working with Ayat, we're supposed to work without glasses, and this is all already work, right? This is going to be working for you, and works for me too. Whenever you teach something that you know a little bit, or that you've been using, then of course that has an impact also on you. In other words, in myself, just now. So like I was saying, you can use the formal separately. In other words, each word a part or part of them, or in other words, three words. I'll give an example. For example, when you are with people who, they get on your nerves, maybe Allah, or it's not the right time, or whatever, instead of you blaming them, or cursing them, Allah, or anything but love has to go. Don't forget, that's like the how do I say, the root of Elia Ayat is love, right? So instead of, like I said, doing these things in your head, you're just Alia Lesat. You can use that term, Alia Lesat, and you can continue. In other words, you're not letting other words or other thoughts curse that person, and if there was an impact in you, then later on you can go in the sun and you can say Allah, and then, oh no, I want to get rid of the impact of this person in my from this interaction with this person, and then you can sort of say, like, get rid of it, or put it in the rubbish, so to say, right? Energetic rubbish. So you send it to the ayat, you're sending it to the micro macro elements of the sun, which are by you. But again, you nurture from the sun, energy, and so with this, alia liasad, alia liasad, alia liasad. That's, for example, for an interaction. When, for example, you have the feeling that they're talking about you, or that they're, that they're belittle. Well, I don't know. I think that's a German term. When they are putting you down, let's put it that way, and you feel, or you have that feeling, you can say, Alia Liasat Selene. Alia Liasat Selene. Whenever that comes in your head, that you have the feeling that they're, maybe you're in a restaurant or in a disco, whatever, and they're putting you down, and you have the feeling that you say, Alia Liasat Selene. I am a child with, it means I am a child with love in the in the area of the pure consciousness, so to say. That's more or less the translation. I'm a son of God if you're Christian, or I am. Do you understand? It's more or less the same, because don't forget that words are not only strong in terms of energy because of the word in itself. It's also strong because of the vibration. Alia Sat. You see, it's soft, and it's, like I said, you can put it, you can do it in your mind. But what I'm trying to say is that you have a good intention not to hurt this person. You have a good intention to keep relationships, even though it could be your husband, it could be your wife, or it could be your children. Sometimes they're, a little bit more nervous, whatever. Alia Sat. Selene. I'm a child with love in the consciousness, the area of the pure consciousness, for example. Or you can say simply Alia. For example, you go in a place, Alia. Instead of hello, you say Alia. You're protecting already yourself from the impact of that place. Alia, Alia. And for example, in the big congresses where I learn all this stuff, you hear the people always, oh, Alia Sat, oh, Alia Yat. I never used that so much for whatever reason. But now I'm starting to use it because I know that I don't use it so much, right? Oh, Alia, because it's really sweet too. I mean, once you get like kind of, you can see or you can feel that these words are so soft and so pretty. Alia Yat. That means I'm a child, I'm an innocent child that responds to the ayat, which is the sun energy, which is logical. I mean, if you're in this world, of course you react to the micro macro elements of the sun, right? So, but basically, this is ayat. This is not the world, right? So to say, this is a curse. This is, in other words, I'm teaching Alia ayat method. You see, it's different. In other words, I can kind of like refer to other disciplines like Christianism or Buddhism or yoga or sports or whatever. I can refer to other activities, for example. However, this is a system. You see the difference? I mean, flexible system, right? It's not now that because you see the steps are really kind of easy and stuff, especially now when I was learning, or in all the congresses that I was, except the last two ones, we always had to say the formula, even in the reunions. Now, no. Now you simply say Allah and you can start talking in the circles, in the reunions that you go to get rid of your negativity from the month or from the, in other words, from the 2 weeks that you in between big reunions. But these reunions from 2 times a month can be also in your own house with your family, especially now after pandemic and stuff. A lot of things had to be adapted, right? But that's the good thing about being in a flexible treatment of self-healing. That is you can improvise a lot of things, and especially with words, sometimes we underestimate a little bit the impact that they have in us or in others. So it's like a softener, you make it, it makes it sound soft, more soft. لا ياد لا لسه لا لسه تسليني ألا. You see, soft, and children love this treatment. Normally they react because it's kind of like a game, and there is also you can dance also. We haven't talked about that. For 2 minutes a day, normally that was one of the last little laws, so to say, little steps for the treatment to have like a good impact or a good result in you. And it's not me inventing it. You can of course you can double check with the maybe with all the students if you're already in Alaska, or probably in the internet you find some more stuff or something. And in London, for instance, there are students. I know there are many students in London. Otherwise, you find them either in Russia, Tenerife, they have one or two, I think only one. And Germany, they have some students, but again, it's a self-healing treatment. And believe me, now that I don't work with a lot of people, or I don't work with people, I only work with myself by now, because like I said, I stopped it almost 3 years, or about 3 years. And I tell you, I can feel myself, and I can feel that I can, in other words, without the influence of other people telling me, because you do get influenced by other people, right? When, for example, if I wouldn't be so flexible like I am now, but because I was not that flexible before, I was very, maybe perfectionist a lot, or maybe I thought it was discipline a lot. But honestly, that's what I'm telling you. With the time, you see how you improve, your consciousness improves, and you take better decisions, or you see more clear some stuff more and more. And obviously, when, for example, if you come from, for example, I come from Catholic schools, yeah. So Catholic schools are very disciplined, are very, but not realistically. You know what I mean? Not, it's a little bit, you could even call that already abuse. You see what I mean? And then, of course, you have that in you that you have to get rid of, or if you want to, or whenever you're ready. And you say, no, I can be more flexible, or this or that. The treatment helps you also with these kind of things. Or you find the right book. In other words, some people, or a lot of people, tend to, for example, when I was learning this treatment, yeah, I only did this treatment, and I got bored. Normally that was forbidden. Normally, when you already worked enough, you drank your tea in the morning, for example. Yeah, if you start with your tea, you looked in the sun, you said, well, I woke up a little bit this, a little bit that, Allah suayat, etc. You're working, right? When you're ready already, then you go to work, you do this, you do that, you go to sports, because this is work, energy work. So you do get tired. This is work. So you have to drink your tea, this and that, but you also have to, it was when we worked in Ayat centers, we had to have fun. In other words, we had to go after work. We had to go. For example, I would go to the gym, or to the sauna, or to the spa. Others would do whatever they do, watch TV or whatever. We were not all together. We were like, you go home to your home, I go to my home. But what I'm saying is that it cannot only be treatment. You don't go in the hospital and you stay in that mood all the time. And this is work. You're cleaning something. You're healing something. I used to call it medical spiritual treatment, because it helps you with your spirit, but it helps you also with your mind. Rasum, they call it, is your mind, and also with your physical part, you're healing. And there are people who heal even from cancer and all this stuff, and other diseases and stuff. Allah, Allah Swayat, which now that I used to be very scared of everything, Allah. For example, I learned an information that, for example, if I had a lot of things to do with my skin, which by the way you can see that is getting better and better and better. And this is my 5th day, right, with the treatment, and you couldn't drink milk if you had eczema or psoriasis and all this stuff. Allah, Allah Swayat. Consciousness can open, but consciousness can also close. So when you have open consciousness, you see the treatment clear. You say, oh my God, yeah, I want to do this treatment. I love it. But consciousness also closed. That's what happened to me until 5 days ago when I opened consciousness again. And I'm like, oh my God, but I have a very good treatment. Why did I stop it? This and that. Well, Allah, luckily, I haven't been going through guilt trips or anything. Luckily. But if you're a guilt tripper, so to say, Allah, do you see you need more tea? Everything that is not love or light has to go. So you're drinking your tea. In other words, the impact of your brain, the automatic impact of your brain, you are already diluting it, so to say, flushing it with the water of the tea and the milk and all that. You're calming yourself. But back to what we're talking today. Allah, you already said the formula. In other words, it's already it applies for as if it would be the whole formula, right? But again, I'm gonna I said already the complete formula. I'm gonna write it down too in the description box. So in any case that you want to accommodate it as whatever way you want to use it along the days or something. Allah lesat, Allah lesat selene, Allah ayat. You could say. You see, it's and again when you use it among other words, because that's how people use it over there in the congresses, and also we as Alashkas or Uchinitsas or students, you're talking something. Oh, this. Oh, Allah, Allah. Oh, Allah, Allah, lesa, Allah. You see, the impact of the words are less in your organs because it's about you. Don't forget, it's self-healing. It's a self-healing treatment, right? And okay, I because I already taped the Spanish version of this video. And for example, I said the story of a lady, and one night she couldn't sleep and she couldn't really go anywhere, and there was no sun where she could go allá and speak about what was going on in her body and her organs or in her mind. And she, the whole night, not the whole night, for 1 hour, she said, if I'm not wrong, she was saying the formula. Allah ninana sustate el farhatata alayat trisasiem sorok shes voicendisit Allah lesat selene Allah uigur ayat Allah Allah ninana sustate. You see, so that the impact. I mean, at that time that was new for me, but now that I see the impact of her thinking of the negative or nervous Allah Swayat thinking, that impact was not so heavy for her now that she couldn't use the other steps of the treatment, for example, because she was an Alashka. An Alashka is someone who is really into the treatment. I'm already a student, which is like the only difference is that I can work with the hands. In other words, I can put the hands in the head of someone and burn negative energy. In other words, give you a little help with energy and stuff. We're going to talk about that in another video. But pretty much that's the way you can use these positive words to kind of protect you, either words or you say them in your mind to protect your mind. And it can work as a mantra, but it is not a mantra. In Nayat, we don't believe that's only a mantra. It's more than that, okay? Which is big words. Imagine that, for example, when we used to work in Nayat centers, one, two students had to be two students, preferably. And if there were not two students, we couldn't, preferably not take patients for the hand, to put the hand in the head. One student had to say formula all the time in her head, or slowly, or not to interrupt. And the other student was working, with the negative energy of the other person, asking questions maybe, or listening, to and answering to what the person has to deal with, right? But what I'm trying to say is that strong, so strong is the formula. It's called the formula of life, the formula of life. So for those of you who haven't found real solutions, maybe with fears, or directly with physical diseases, or spiritual, whatever, you can try this treatment. I tell you, the first day that I started with this treatment, but years ago, right? Like maybe 8 years ago or something, or maybe longer. No, I'm not so sure, and I couldn't sleep in my bed. I had to sleep in the sofa already because I was scared, blah, 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 fears. And because sometimes we're not so conscious how much we absorb from the world. When you get interaction with people, their cells, for example, if you are dealing with someone who is scared, you get that sometimes, many times too. Or when you deal with somebody with guilt trips, or codependency, or this or that. And that's so real that now that I am not working in Ayat centers or anywhere, I'm doing, my self-work, I can see, I can remember some stuff that, oh my God, you see, that was not me. That was that person who had this belief, for example, or who would imply that I should do this and that. And now that's what I'm telling you, that even though sometimes we don't think, or we don't measure directly in the moment the impact of something, or especially a good treatment, let's put it that way, to heal. But I tell you, I left it, and I was doing other things. I was doing my meditation, or eating healthy, and this and that, and I still missed this treatment, to the point that now I am, working with myself, and also explaining in the internet, because it's really, I think it can be really helpful. I was really, since I was a child, I had post-traumatic stress disorder. And now I know that, but I didn't know at that time. We didn't have those terms, right? We just knew that we couldn't sleep, or with this, we were always tired, and this and that. And with this treatment, specifically with the tea and stuff, especially my tea, I love it. So then I found a lot of solutions, and then it got better and better and better. But pretty much that's how you can use, more or less, the words from the formula. That's how you work with formula. And for example, if you're in a boring place, or in a boring reunion, and you don't want this boredom to impact you, right? Allah, Allah, Nina, na, Sustatel, Farhadata, Allah, ya, Trisatya. You understand? You are there, but you are in your mind, you are with your mind. Well, it's not a mantra, like I said, but you are protecting your mind. That's what I'm saying. And also in interactions, you're in the bus, Alalesa Allah, alalesa tselene. Allah igurayat Allah. But if you have your headphones or something, then maybe, But you see, in between whatever interaction you have, oh Allah, alalesat Allah. This is good work with ayat, because the impact of all these things, sometimes you don't know it, because words are not only words, they're also vibration. So I can tell you, yeah, I love you, and in reality it's the opposite. Ah, Allah, because I don't know it, right? Or for just giving examples, right? Or you can say, or somebody tells you one thing and it's not true. Oh, Allah, Allah. It's helping you already to with the impact that it might have in your organs and in yourself. So these little words, used separately or used complete, can help you. And I hope the examples kind of help you to kind of see how you can use them in real life, right? Some people use the formula also for cooking. The same that you do with your tea, Allah, ninana, or Allah. You can say Allah a couple of times, or you can say Allah liasat selene, or you can say the whole formula. And I refer to the whole formula because that's how we used to teach it before, right? Now it's only Allah, and that's already the whole formula included there, right? In that word. So you can do it either way. But I have the feeling that if you only say Allah and you're cooking a long meal or something, it can be kind of like not enough. Not necessarily energetically, but maybe for your own mind. Allah, ninana, sustat, Allah selene, da da da. And your head is not feeling impact from outside and stuff, and well, that's how normally that's the use of the formula in the ayat treatment. Well, thank you for watching. This is Leslie, and this is thank you for watching my channel, Alia. Thank you. Alia Selene. Alia. Bye.